what culture action? 10 things nobody wants to admit about Doctor Who. 10 things that nobody wants to admit. I don't know. Like, what do I not want to admit about Doctor Who? Because I'm happy to admit that like Tom Baker, like Colin Baker's first main season, that was very, very dodgy in a lot of places, but I still love it. Right? I don't know. I can't think anything I'm happy to admit about Doctor Who. I mean, I'm not going to admit like Doctor Who is dead because I don't think it is. Right? Frankly. Doctor Who has had many phases, many flaws, and we don't admit all of them. That's true. In the 1990s, by there is a mooted Wilderness Years DVD box set they're working on. Blu-ray box set. So, I mean, that would really only work if you're going to pull together all the BBV productions and the real-time productions. You'll need to have in it the Autumn trilogy, Shakedown. What else? I mean, that Zygon one was really, really not that great. I think it came out after you started the new season. The Stranger ones. You get the Stranger videos and Probe, who were with Liz Shaw, Air Zone Solution. Yeah, you basically need the BBV list of BBV dramas. Let's see. I bet there must be a plate here. No, BBV. No, I didn't mean BBV Doctor Who spin-off. Doctor Who spin-off. BBV Productions. There you go, and you'll come up with them. So, what are they? Should we just have a look? Okay. These I showed a clip of this the other day. It was the first time there was CGI in there. Was there not like just a list of their productions? They kept doing Probe. Wow. I'm really amazed. I had no idea they kept going. Okay, let's see what they'll have. Some by Shadow. Yeah, this is all the Stranger stuff. So Some by Shadows, More Than Messiah, and you need to redo all the effects of them. I mean, just all of them. Terror Game Zero. These are all really quite good. Breach of the Peace. Dead Winnable was Probe, and then Eye of the Beholder, Unnatural Selection. Bidding Adieu, that was the video. I guess they could put all of the stuff in. Autumn 2, Autumn 3, 1999. Cyberon, not very good. Do you ever like say this? Yeah, they should put that on, but it was pretty bad. I think they should ditch everything past it. Zygon went a bit, because that was basically porn. Do they have like the what was it? The certificate? Because I just remember it was like there was lots of nudity in it. Well, not just some nudity in it. Do you think that on this one of BBC Two productions to be released on the 18? I wonder what they're on that. Devil's Wonderful. When to Die. It's so weird that they continue Probe. I'm like, really? John Pertwee uncut, JNT uncut. What, Sunrise Love Again? Never heard of that. But yeah, so they can put all of those in, and maybe did have real-time pictures as well. But yeah, these are all very much. Actually, you know what would be really awesome? If you wanted to do a document, okay. First, I would love him to do this. The Mid-Journey Doctor Who guy do an awesome trailer for the New Adventures. Man, okay, that would be awesome. You know, they could really do an incredible documentary now with like video trailers for the new Adventures, with like the authors talking about the work and you talk about the covers. That would be a really good series of documentaries. I would be so up for that. Anyway, I digress. The 1990s. I think in the 1990s, Doctor was slightly embarrassing and a bit of archive territory. I wasn't embarrassed at all. I can't even talk about the wobbly sets. Never happened. There were no wobbly sets. These guys are trotting out criticisms that you would never admit that the sets of John Cleese claimed 40 towers were wobbled. They wobbled a lot more, far more frequently than the spaceship on Cave and Doctor Who. Which isn't to say that Doctor Who fans are blind to the flaws of the show. Far from it. But we all love Doctor Who. That means that we came with a certain comfortable truths, came to accept certain uncomfortable truths about the show. No, it's called suspending disbelief. So you could enjoy the story. I mean, the best example of that, right? And I only looked at this by some weird coincidence and mistake. Snake Dance, right? Snake Dance, again, they always wheel it out from when Martin Clunes is on any talk show, right? Such a great story, right? And if you're able to look past it, right? Look past its failings, that it was made, how and when it was made, and see the story within and the performances. Martin Clunes was fantastic in it. I'm sorry. The entire thing was fantastic. I would love to give Snake Dance the Happiness Patrol treatment, right? The way they really opened up Happiness Patrol on that last Blu-ray. Incredible, right? That is the definitive version of Happiness Patrol for me in a big way. Pete McTeague doing a very good job, right? God help us for what he's going to do for next season. I'm glad he's got a job writing it, though, right? He's been a real stalwart of Doctor Who fandom. He was just there at the wrong time. Like, if it was around in the Capaldi years, the Matt Smith and Capaldi years coming up then, he would probably be showrunner. No, because they always wanted a girl Doctor Who, and Christian was the pussy to do it, right? But yeah, because they could really do that thing. I mean, like if you were just the opening shots when you see like the market, you could do a CGI shot where you see the whole rest of the city and then pan down to it, all right? And it'll be actually quite simple. And just like putting that setting in makes it work, which is exactly what they did with Happiness Patrol, right? They made it into a much huger story. Very, very clear. I mean, I love what they did with that. Fine. Where am I? Yeah. Flaws. We don't say Doctor Who aren't blind to flaws. We love it. It means we have to come to accept it was not uncomfortable about the show and its limitations. And the new Disney Plus era has proved that Doctor Who doesn't have to have money to compete with Star Wars or the MCU. It never did before. In fact, the money it's got now, not really doing much for it, I think. It's always been the scrappy little show that could, and we love it for it. Well, kind of, but again, the high production values weren't really needed. The 2005 to 2017, fine, right? I don't see why they had to do anything better than that. I mean, like, the Alton goo special effect in 2005 is a bit old now, but other than that, I think it works fine, right? Why? Mainly because the scripts are very good. However, there are elements of Doctor Who that, for whatever reason, fans are more uncomfortable with about mythics. Sometimes that refusal can come from a place of embarrassment. Case in point, the frequent arguments over whether or not the Doctor Who is a kid's show. It's not. It's always been a family show. That's when it's always worked best, right? In 2005, 2007, when the family sat down and go, "Oh, Doctor Who, isn't that fun?" Right? That's when Doctor Who always worked best. That's far too naughty discussion to dive in now. What a more uncomfortable truth that Doctor Who fans refuse to admit. The Time Lords are really, really boring. I don't know, are they? I don't think so. I mean, like, look, they were kind of like James Bond villain-esque when they were first introduced. Right, there were like these ethereal godlike entities when they first introduced, like war games. But like in the Pertwee era, they were like, it was more like James Bond level, not villain, but like power. Right? They were very big, and then they got reinvented as like the Manchurian Candidate, and I don't think that was boring at all. I thought that was really, really interesting. And then they introduced Cyberpunk, which is like in 1974? Season 14? It'll be, 1977. I mean, like, it was how many years before The Matrix? like 23 years before The Matrix. Yeah. I don't call that boring at all. It depends, but then you have stuff like Arc of Infinity. Yeah, that really didn't do much with them. Things like Lung Barrow, I like things like Stretch It. There's a few Big Finish ones that are good that do things like Blood of the Time Lords, right? They could be boring. They don't have to be. Okay, Family Deadly Assassin was devised by Philip Hinklage and Robert Holmes, through that Tom Baker couldn't hold the show by himself. Not really. The part of the plan was spectacularly backfired, and Deadly Assassin did explain the fundamental truth about the Time Lords. They're old, ineffectual, and quite dull. Yeah, but they were kind of like, okay, the vibe they're going for, if you ever seen Oppenheimer, was the Robert Downey Jr. government character. That's the sort of thing, that's the sort of evil that Robert Holmes was going for. Right. Despite this, countless novels, audio plays, and comic books and television episodes have been written about the Time Lords and their long history. Their session with Time Lords seems to be rooted in the desire to give the Doctor its own convoluted Star Wars-like mythology. It does have its own convoluted Star Wars-like mythology. However, Doctor, it held together fine until 2017. However, and also, origin stories are a sexy place to go to for a creator, right? And it's like, it's somewhat creatively bankrupt, I think. However, Doctor Who isn't really an epic mythos of gods and monsters. It's a show about somebody with a magic box passing through a helmet. Well, yes and no. It can be many things. I mean, the man in the box, the lonely god thing, that all worked. That was very authentic Doctor Who. That's why the most exciting, interesting Time Lords are the ones that left Gallifrey. Well, that's true. And they do that for a reason. But I don't know. I think Big Finish have really done interesting stuff with the Time Lords. And the Time War, around there. The Doctor, Master, Running the Monk are all great because they have Time Lords gifts for good, evil, personal profit, and on the horizon of extensive travel. And also they're in equal footing with the Doctor, right? That's what makes them an interesting villain. The Time Lords that remain on the dullest planet in the universe are pretty much the politicians, fussy old academic. Yeah, but again, they're pure evil as well. Again, it's the American government from Oppenheimer. Quite frankly, the Master did us all a favor when he blew Gallifrey up. That never happened. I'm sorry. Love of Monsters isn't that bad. I love Love of Monsters. I understand I'm one of the only people, but I think it was a really solid little story. I loved the love story, right, between whatever the guy, the Paving Stone Girl and whatever he is. I don't see him so much anymore. He used to be in everything. Love Monsters, but it's like I like it's like fandom to a great extent. You have like these little farty people get together and they make a cute little life for themselves, a little community. It's really nice, right? It is really nice. I like they make a little band together, and then you have like some prick comes in and blows it all up. I mean, I guess it's prophetic for the future. Love Monsters isn't the worst ever Doctor of all time. No, it's not post Capaldi. That's a good hint right there. It's not in the worst episode of the season. Yeah, that'll be Fear Her, isn't it? I think Fear Her was that season. Yeah, it was that season. So why is it loathed by such a large proportion of fans? It was jarring when it was first on TV, and it wasn't able to shake that reputation. Essentially, I think. Why can't they accept that it's an ambitious and generally moving bit of television drama? I think it is. Could it be they sort of saw Love and Monsters as a criticism rather than a celebration of intense fandom? No, that was much more Greatest Show in the Galaxy. Love and Monsters is ultimately a story about loneliness, whether it's Jackie being left alone by Rose or the various members of Linda finding each other. Yes, okay, I agree with that, right? And reflect on the many local Doctor Who groups that flourished during the show's wilderness years is deliberate. I think it's lovely. It's like Galaxy Quest, right? Galaxy Quest isn't hateful to Star Trek fans. It's loving, right? It's like a loving tribute to Star Trek fans. I listen. I don't know who all the haters are. I like it. I don't tell you. As well, I think it was the first Doctor Light episode as well. I think that got people's back up. Those who feel roughly as David the Mick, I don't think he's saying it, depicting them as sad and lonely souls. Well, a lot of the time, fandom are. They are. And it's nice that they find each other. I mean, that's why I think the Jodies were so awful. Like, we always argued in fandom. We never had, like, hateful cunts come in, which they just were. I mean, that's an uncomfortable truth about Doctor Who. Jodie fans are cunts, generally speaking. They were awful. They were the absolute worst of the worst, right? I mean, like, they can't stand you saying it was shit. Fuck off. It's part of fandom, mate. But that couldn't be further on through. Yeah, he's telling the story of how groups with a shared interest can ultimately be torn apart by someone who takes it all too seriously. We've all been in group chat with somebody who takes every joke literally, or had to endure replies on social media by your opinions, not to who, are wrong. Well, again, we used to be able to disagree, and it wasn't a problem. Far from being the worst Doctor Who, a lot of them is actually more relevant than ever in 2025. Actually, I think you're right. But I don't buy the premise. It's like, is it universally hated? Let me look at the chat. What do people say? A story before Rusty has decided to annoy fans and stuck at ever. Yeah, I don't think so. The missing episodes may be lost forever. You know what? I think the original missing episodes may be lost forever. I think they will be perfectly recreated by AI. I mean, the work that Ian Levine is doing, well, it doesn't work for me. Okay, it's not my taste, and because you don't get a sense of movement. It doesn't feel like it's an original. It doesn't feel like the camera moves like it would do on the original TV. Whereas Callum Weston's stuff feels very much like that. It's just excellent. And then then if you can match that with a photorealistic AI skin, and then for the close-ups, do the facial work that Ian Levine does, right? I think you really, add a winner. Alternatively, you could reshoot them and then face swap them. I think, yeah, the original cuts of the original episodes are missing, but I think they could be really, really indistinguishably replaced, right? Especially where we are right now. But yeah, I think most of them are going to be missing forever. And like, because it won't matter. Again, once you can get I understand why you can't get AI, train on AI by putting in the telesnaps and the scripts and the studio setup, the sets and things like that, and just have it generate it. Right, have it understand what a 1963 camera would capture images. It's all algorithms. That's all it is. It could be done. There are 96 episodes of Doctor Who missing from the archives, and the years grind on. It seems increasingly like that they will never be found. Yeah, again, that's why we work so hard to recreate them. Even if it were true that a private collector has them but won't negotiate with BBC, the implication is pretty much guarantees we will never see the likes of Evil of the Dalek, Marco Polo as originally intended. Again, I disagree because of AI. However, I do know that I strongly believe private collectors have them, and as they die, their families will sell them, right? Essentially. Add to the spectrum of the vinegar syndrome, the name given to the deterioration of poorly stored film. Oh, man. Is this blocked up like hell? Oh, did I break it? Oh, it's better. The fact that majority of global archives have already been plundered, it seems unlikely that anyone will chance across a copy of Web of Fear 3. I think, again, these are in private collectors' collection, right? Because they're just dicks, these people. I mean, essentially, they're just absolute dicks, right? Where are we up to? The harsh truth. It's asked you to expect. I do accept it. What are you talking about? We'll probably never have the 96 missing episodes of Doctor Who returning to the BBC. There still could be some hope. Film is Fabulous is a terrific initiative, that encourages the collectors and their families to assist them in preserving TV cinema history. If you have a relative and a mysterious cancer film in your loft or your garage, it'll be worth to give them a shout. Who knows? You might be sitting on Macra Terror episode 2. There is no such thing as Macra! There is no such thing as Macra! Love Macra Terror. There's too much Doctor Who. Well, yes and no. This is not the Whoniverse we were promised. Like the spin-offs everywhere. Right? Okay. In my mind, right? This is how I would run Doctor Who, right? If I had unlimited budget, I would have a central main TV show, 12 episodes a year plus a Christmas special, right? Yes, I think it needs that. We need to go back to that level of production, and cut down production values to make it. We used to do that very well. So it's about 12 episodes and a Christmas special. Yeah, I think that's very reasonable. I think we should also be have like a 12 episodes animated season, animating Big Finish ones or previous Doctors. Again, Callum Weston can knock these things out, right? And then again, you put different AI skins on them, and they come out. They can come out incredibly, right? It could be this is all very, very doable, right? So that's 24. 24 episodes of Doctor Who a year. Add on to that. I do if I can convince them to do it, right? Each year I'll do like mini seasons with a 3 or 4 part mini season with Capaldi. Maybe I'll shoot like a few, like 4 or 5 back to back of these seasons, right? So that's what 24. They say 28. Then add on maybe a Eccleston movie or mini series, about 28, say 30, and then add on for Christmas. I would really want to do a Peter Cushing Christmas special as well as the main Christmas special. So I don't know, about 30 weeks out the year. That sounds pretty good to me. Oh yeah, and then I don't know, add on another 12 episodes for spin-offs. Right, do it. Whatever it is, maybe 30. So yeah, you could have Doctor Who on pretty much new content year round in my book, and if it was good, it will be good, right? That's really the main thing. If it was good, it'll be good. Trouble is, everything in the universe has been shit. That's everything post Capaldi has been shit, and I really think the it could stand that saturation that I was just talking about. I think it'll be fine. The universe was very big and exciting, hinting at a vast shared universe of Doctor Who spin-off shows. But do we really need that? We're not getting that. Isn't there already? Isn't there enough Doctor Who already? There's already over 60 years of Doctor Who to enjoy on DVD, Blu-ray, iPlayer. 60 years, yeah, I know. And I don't really watch the last 7. We're up to. Before that, we have hundreds and hundreds of novels and dramas and comic strips. Look, saturation is certainly a problem for Big Finish, right? One of the reasons I don't think I'm going to get their 3rd Doctor release coming out this month is because I don't need to spend the money. I want to get to spend it on other things, and I've got enough. I'll just go and listen to one of them, and the chance of this being good, I will want to go back to 50-50. That's basically where we are with Big Finish right now. It's 50-50 whether that $25 you spent is going to be you're going to go, yeah, I'm happy about that or not. Right? When Dr. Who reveals the press in 63, the show's creator, Donald Wilson, predicted that it will run and run. Well, he was right about that. However, the longer the show runs, the harder it is to remain fresh and unencumbered. Well, that's why you got to keep regenerating, get a new production team in. And honestly, now, again, you need to do Crisis on Infinite Earth. You need to reboot, reset, and take the best of what's been before and, discard the dross. And, again, whip the continuity into shape. That's essentially what Crisis on Infinite Earth was. With all blah, 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 for example, so-called New Who has been on the screen for almost 20 years. There's definitely sign the show is repeating past glories and struggling to break new ground. Well, that's true. But, I put that down to the creator teams, frankly. Last count, there are 884 episodes of Doctor Who, and if I was to be honest, don't you think things look tired? Yes, they do look tired under Rusty Davies, right? Rusty Davies is not a god. Oh, we found that out. Rusty Davies has fucked this up royally. Every creative decision that has come out from this doofus has been a disaster. Like, every creative decision has been a freaking disaster. When it was announced that Rusty Davies was coming back to run Doctor Who, it was like the second coming of Christ. It was. And I'm Jewish. Jubilation, right? Pure jubilation. And boy, was I wrong, right? Which is ironic, given the previous written drama about how badly, which is ironic, given that he had also previously written a drama about how badly that will have gone down. Really? I don't remember that. Vatted despised the tricky plotting of Stephen Moffat or the understated tone of Chris. It wasn't understated tone, it was pure drivel. It was pure drivel. Found their saviour in Saint Rutherford Davis, the king of television. Yep, I was one of them, and I was wrong. Let's be honest. This further was rooted in nostalgia of the golden years of 2005, 2009. Yes. And I thought he'd be able to do it as well, right? I didn't think he'll make every wrong decision you can make. But he made every wrong decision you can make. Where a time when Toys R Us had the entire war of Doctor Who toys, and the show was bringing in 30 million viewers on Christmas Day, because it was good. It wasn't about two men snogging, right? That Shooty Gatwa can play Shooty Gatwa and nothing other than Shooty Gatwa. That's all he can do. It's just kind of pathetic. It overlooks the fact that Rusty was never the greatest surprise Doctor Who during his original tenure. Well, he did it very much his own take on Doctor Who, which I liked, frankly, at the time. But the first Rusty Davies era was never unimpeachable. Home run, a banger after a bang. Well, it was actually. For every midnight there was a long game. I disagree. I mean, like season 2, we had what was that? Doctor Who episode, guy. Doctor Who episode, guy. I mean, I remember when Long Game ran, and we were all shocked that like it wasn't a perfect episode. That's New Earth, really fun opener. Tooth and Claw, fantastic. Oh my god, right? Just everything you wanted in Doctor Who episode, and it was very stylish. I love the monks. I like the the werewolf. So I would say Tooth and Claw, like really high up there, right? One of the best episodes. School reunion, really high up there. Girl in the Fireplace. Rise of Simon Age is still and Idiotlanta goes back up again. Impossible Planet, Satan Pit, Love and Monsters. Fear Her was the only duffer in my mind. Army of Ghosts and Doomsday, somewhat underwhelming. Yeah, we knew that Rose wasn't going to die. This is the story of how I died. No, it's not. No, it's not. Hey, what's it? Can I get the Doctor Who Doomsday trailer? Is this because they really pumped up the they were going to kill Rose, right? They really pumped that up so much. Yeah, but do that trailer. There we go. Doink.
This planet is starting to boil. Keep going and both worlds will fall into the void.
The Genesis Ark is primed.
The Cybermen came through from one world to another, and so did we.
We must protect the Genesis Ark.
This is our world, not yours. And you're going to listen for once.
Didn't need to kill him.
Neither did we need him alive.
You're on every street. You're in their homes. You've got their children.
Cybermen plus Daleks. Together we could upgrade.
All right, so that's not the maybe it's the Army of Ghosts. Which one was it? This is the story of how I died. I don't know. Can't find it. Oh, here it is, right here. Right. Yeah. This is them really playing up. We're gonna kill Rose. I think the build up to the first season finale trailer was better.
My name is Rose Tyler, and this is a story of Torchwood. The last story I'll ever tell.
That's not Sam Common.
Yeah, no, you're not going to die, darling. Stop telling us you are.
Exterminate! Exterminate!
This is a story of how I died.
Genesis Ark is
Yeah, it really wasn't, though.
prime! We must protect the Genesis Ark! I ordered surrender.
They're not taking instructions. So you understand, you're on every street, you're in their homes, you've got their children. Of course they're gonna fight.
Didn't need to kill him.
Neither did we need him alive.
Again, this is when it really has some gravitas to it. Bloods and Parks hate Love and Monsters. I liked it. I'm going to tell you, Viva la difference, baby.
Together, we could upgrade the universe.
Yeah, the year before was way better. Is this it? No, 1 second. No, let me try to explain Parting of the Ways better. Parting of the Ways. I was going to say trailers because they had a new one every day. It was awesome. Is this it? I think this might be it. Let's have a look. Doink. And it made such a huge buzz, right? It really did. Oh, them were the days, baby. Them were the days. Let's see if this is what I want.
It's descending. They're bombing whole continents. Europa, Pacifica, the new American.
No, this is not it. Should I do trailers, maybe? Parting of the Way trailers. The trailer compilation. Is this it? Yeah. Here we go. Doink. Doink. Oh man, this is low res. You know what? I'll just play it from the original file. If it was on the next time trailer. Here we go. Doink. Where is it? Over there. But we'll get back to this article shortly. Although again, I think it's important to put it in context. Yeah, I can't remember what we were talking about there. Right, it'll be on Bad Wolf, at the end of Bad Wolf. Very 2000 AD space station. That. Here we go. Look at that. Did I just nail that?
Launch missiles.
We got incoming. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are at war.
Yeah, they can put little snippets of that out each day.
There's an army about to invade this station.
Defenses have gone offline.
Oh, and their offshield's going to EastEnders. Oh, I love this. Is one. I think this is one of Eccleston's best moments. Right? Like, be fantastic.
I'm dead or about to die any second with no chance of escape.
Look, it's not a huge budget. For good's sake, it's not, and it works so much better than anything they do now. Let me see if I can. It's a countdown trailer. Trailer countdown. Because again, I don't want to show you. They build up so much buzz. Here we go. Again, this is low res, but okay. Share screen, video file. Right, they had one of these going out every day. It was like 5 seconds.
If this message is activated, then it can only mean danger, and I mean fatal.
Exterminate! I am the god of all Daleks. TARDIS
Predict. You kill him. You predict correctly. Well, first Ross Lee Davis here, someone Peachball run. Well, I think I had a pretty good run. Okay, fine. Yes, we were all wrong about RTD. Martha Jones and Ross Lee D1's best companion. I don't know. I would say, okay, Rose, Martha, Donna. I mean, they're the main ones, aren't they? Honestly, I think it's Rose. Don't you? I mean, she kind of reinvented the companion role. Of course, Billie Piper deserves plaudits for her inaugural role, making Doctor Who an overnight smash hit. She was a huge part of it. And yes, the chemistry between David Tennant and Kathleen Tate is off the scale, making them the most watchable partnership in 2008, 2002. It would have been in 2023, respectfully, but like, come on, it was all the queer shit you had to wade through, and then Murray Gold music, yeah, which used to be great. But if we're honest with ourselves, when it comes to best Doctor Who companion, it's Freeman Angerman as Martha Jones. I disagree. I mean, she's probably the most beautiful. But the best? No. And Donna's the most shaggable. Look at everything that Tank puts Martha through. He's literally compares her to Rose while in bed together, forces her to live as a servant in a boys' school during a period that was less than progressive, to put it mildly, and yet she survived somehow. And finally asks that she travels the world, telling everybody how great he is. Do you think Rose would have handled her too seriously if she'd been constantly compared to Sarah Jane? She didn't like it when she was, that's for sure. She could barely last 2 minutes of scoring unit before throwing a straw. Well, that was Rose. Rose was very much a stroppy 19-year-old girl. Could you have Donna Noble wander the earth for a year, laying down? Yeah, Donna will do anything, right? Martha Jones simply is the most capable, most dependable, and most capable, dependable, but not the most enjoyable. And that's the central part of being a companion. The numbering doesn't matter. Well, you only say now that Nate fucked it up. I disagree. I think the numbering does matter. And I've said it many times. I think the only way to really move forward, there's probably many ways. The only way I can see to really move forward success with Doctor Who is make a complete reboot, right? And then say it's like a reboot universe, and everything went nuts around, the Capaldi drip regeneration, and like say that everything past Capaldi was like a breakdown in time and space, and that's why everything's been so weird. And they had to reestablish reboot it. So he's a amnesiac doctor in a TARDIS, in a universe he doesn't know, right? That's the way to go forward. So the numbering does matter. Like, Joe Martin is not the first fucking Doctor, right? I'm sorry. The morals of the 2020s Timeless Child storyline was it didn't matter how many times, how many Doctors of fugitive incarnation there have been. Well, again, I think that was one of the reasons the era completely failed. I mean, also for it being drivel, right? Politically correct drivel, moron crap, right? But that's really the reason the era failed so hard, right? Because it was shit. But yeah, man. What's that? Sorry, Rabbi, I'm sure got my attention. Well, I'm glad you came in there. Sorry, personal opinion, but it's deeply creepy to co-opt kids' TV show from the 70s to do Matt dog whistles. I think that's which is what it's been since 1980. Well, okay. I don't know. I think that might be a bit of harsh criticism. You do you, baby. Just mentioning the best companion on New Who. She's the best companion on Classic as well. Who? Martha Jones? Really? Yeah, no, Donna is the most shaggable. Wait, excuse me. Of the three, Martha Jones, who gives us a big lesbian vibe. I'm sorry, right? Freema just feels very, very gay to me, right? Which I would like to, watch it in detail. But yeah, that's just me for you. The Billie Piper as Rose, like, she's kind of like a young, annoying kid. It's not worth it. Donna Yeah, Donna's a woman, baby. She knows what she was doing, right? She knows what she was doing. Where we up to now? Fine. Honestly, my favorite classic companion still Leela. Hate to say it. So, depending on the storyline being the only thing. The only thing that was wonder was who the Doctor is now. Well, it's just dumb. No. However, rather than decimating the numbering, the Timeless Child led to fans increasingly headache-inducing conversation about where Jo Martin sits. She doesn't. She sits in the established canon. She doesn't, right? How incarnations we need to fit into our list. Okay, it's real simple, right? It's Hartnell to Sylvester McCoy to Paul McGann. You got your sneaky war doctor, and then you got the Ninth Doctor through to Capaldi. That's it. It's not hard, right? It's not hard. The numbering of the Doctors only matter when it comes to your favorite ones on marketing Blu-ray box sets. No, it's so the history of the show is important for its internal cohesiveness, right? And once you start to tear that apart, the show completely falls apart, right? So that does matter. I'm sorry, right? This is some bullshittery. I think we're saying here some extreme bullshittery. In terms of the show itself, whoever our lead actor is should always be playing the Doctor, the definitive article, the mad person in the box with the sonic screwdriver. Ncuti Gatwa isn't. Ncuti Gatwa plays the 15th Doctor. He doesn't play the Doctor, right? He's always going to be the 15th Doctor. Otherwise, the audience could reasonably assume that the utterly insane to jump on board the adventure of the 15th Doctor. Well, you are. You're an insane jump, but they're shit, right? They're very disappointing. When they never seen the other 14. Well, they keep calling the 15th Doctor because they want to legitimize him as a Doctor. And the more they try to legitimize him as a Doctor by calling the 15th Doctor, the less legitimate he is as a Doctor. Same thing with, Dr. Ruth. I mean, honestly, yeah, I get it. The bird from The Office in Casualty, while marginally better at playing Doctor Who than Jodie Whittaker, I mean, you could get a fucking tub of lard who could play it better than Jodie Whittaker, isn't the best casting for Doctor fucking Who. I'm sorry. Ncuti Gatwa was a brand new Doctor, yeah, a very gay one, who kept talking about his granddaughter Susan, bumped into his old companion Bonnie Langford, and then did battle with a villain we hadn't seen for almost 40 years, who's been sitting on TARDIS. Okay, bad example. Yeah, he was awful. Right? Animuses don't need to be multi-Doctor. I kind of disagree. And I think the 60th anniversary really proved that. Right? Honestly, it don't have to be so multi-Doctor, right? And that bit at the end with the toy maker when they're playing ball, you could have easily done once you gone by generation, which was so fucking stupid, right? But once you think something like that, you could have like the incarnation be unstable for a few minutes, and as they throw a ball, it turns into a Troutman and a Tom Baker and a Matt Smith, whatever. You could have got a bunch. Didn't even put them all in, right? But like that one little shot of them would have made a big difference, right? Also, cutting out all the queer shit and maybe making it one big story with 3 episodes, having the toy maker as the central villain throughout. That would have been way better. But yeah, I do think anniversaries need to be really tied to the history of the show. I mean, the Trials and Tribulations on Deep Space Nine, right? It's beautifully tied to the history of the show. You don't need to tie it to the entire history of the show. But yeah, I think anniversaries should they work much better as multi-Doctor stories, right? Again, which is why the 60th is one of the reasons it really fell on its face. Queerness and not being a multi-Doctor story. The response of some corners of fandom to Wild Beyond bordered on unhinged. That wasn't a bad episode. It was just like tired, right? It came out the gate as just tired. And then you had like this Black Isaac Newton or Brown Isaac. It was just so stupid. Yes, the production did itself no favors by making a big deal of the redacted cast members. And yes, being an anniversary special, there was a certain degree of expectation. However, Why Belong It isn't special because the Not Things didn't take the form of Peter Capaldi and Matt Smith is insane. It wasn't a special. That's the thing. It wasn't special. It was a very average episode. You know, they were good. Don't get me wrong. And honestly, it was so close to being good. The introduction of fantasy into the universe really, really, really could have worked, right? And explained through that thing. It really could have all come together. And Russell just blew it. Again, too concerned with trans representation, right? To pull together a good show. The fact that the idea that every Doctor Who animation should be celebrated with a multi-Doctor story is also insane. You keep innovating, you keep the show, and it's animated and fresh and exciting. The 5 Doctors is a blast. What do we want that every 10 years? Yes, actually, yes. And again, there's too unwieldy now. But, you know, you could have the Shulker Doctors do something, right? Their Doctor wasn't special because we got to see Matt Smith interact with David Tennant. Yeah, it was. That was one thing. And also, the bit at the end, you know, calling the Doctor, calling the War Council, yeah, that was all great. And what that really did make it, and Tom Baker showing up, made it special. Yeah, you're wrong. You're wrong about everything you're saying. Okay? Just want to help you out there. Where are we at? To the... it wasn't because we got Hollywood legend John Hurt as the secret incarnation of the Doctor. No, it was cool having that secret incarnation of the Doctor. 76 innovations were special because they reunited the best loved TARDIS team for one last victory. Just tired. It felt like they should be in Zimmer frames, and poor Bernard Cribbins just like, you know, vanished. It just done so badly. 10 and 8 practically doubled the show's ratings across the 6th. It's the 6th anniversary with 10 and 8. Well, of course they did. It took people a little time to realize how shit it was, right? And it didn't do that well. It didn't light the world on fire. And it certainly didn't create momentum, which is what it's supposed to do, to lead into shooting. It doubled the ratings because everything with the Jodie was ears had killed it. No, it doesn't prove anything. Oh, people haven't seen good Doctor Who in years, right? Doctor Who ratings don't really matter. You're absolutely wrong. You're only saying that because they're in the shitter, right? If they don't matter, why'd they spend the millions to collect them? Pray tell. Do you have an answer for that? No. Here's the truth. The ratings are a representation of how well the show is liked, right? And it's hasn't been liked since Capaldi left. It started going downhill with Capaldi, and I think it was more from interference on BBC management than anything else, right? Because that's when it started. That's what I'm told at university. Everybody talks about the ratings as if they matter. I was on the picture to know how much money the show generated. That number, that's the number you want to look at. And that's why Doctor Who still gets made. It's a massive show. It's never not culturally important. I disagree. It's not culturally important now, right? It makes no impact on social media. Shooting Gatwa never trends. Nobody cares. Right? Again, and it reflects the poor ratings. So I disagree. I think this is just cope, right? I think it's just cope to say, no, my woke shit hasn't failed because I treat my woke shit like it's a religion. Doctor Who needs the Daleks. I agree. I absolutely agree. Daleks is woven into the Doctor's DNA. That I mean, maybe not every season, but like it's such a central part of Doctor Who that they don't, and them having them not in it for an extended period of time, it just falls on its face. Honestly, it really does. The Doctor Who needs the Daleks. I agree with you. All right. December 1963, after the atmospheric and intriguing first episode, the BBC News flagship family site, it wasn't a flagship anything. It was a cheap show that go in between the football results and jukebox jury. Had literally devolved as jobbing actors shuffled around Live Ground Studios, grunting in, groaning in. William Hartnell on the cast. A week later, their menacing sink plunger changed everything. Terry Nathan's Daleks captured the hearts and minds. Well, I will say more Raymond Cusack's Daleks of the of the nation, of the generation of kids. They did, right? One of the Daleks are intrinsically linked. Don't think the Daleks are intrinsically linked. Yes, as they always should be. As much as us fans complain about overexposure, it's hard to deny the Daleks' popularity. I wouldn't try. Right? Why would I deny the Daleks' popularity? Yes, they're very popular. The general public may not know who the new Doctor is, but they can identify a Dalek, which is why their return for a mid-season bump in 2005. Yeah, and another one of Rusty Davies' shitty decisions to have no Daleks or really any monsters, returning monsters, apart from Sutek. And have Sutek look nothing like Sutek. Chris Chibnall also answered the popularity and importance of Daleks. He gave a hungover New Year's Day audience 3 Daleks. Yeah, having them on New Year's Day is such a hungover New Year's Day audience. That's exactly right. Right? Not a excited family audience, right? Which they had on Christmas Day. No, a hungover New Year's Day audience. Ensuring a moderate bump in interest in casual viewers. Yeah, and it didn't translate to it. It just kept going down because the quality was shit. I mean, that's the bottom, because the quality was shit. Obviously, we don't want the Daleks to be the villains every single week, but they, when deployed properly, they can have a powerful effect on Doctor. I mean, listen, I think the ratio is this: 30 to 40% classic or returning monsters, 60 to 70% new. Right? That's, I think, is the special sauce. Right? The dirty secrets of Doctor Who. Here's a dirty secret. These the Daleks in colour is shit, right? It's absolute shit. I don't think there's any denying that. Okay, yeah, yeah, they were the dirty secrets of Doctor Who. Indeed, right? Indeed, I cannot argue. I think I'm going to wrap up early. Oh, I am just so tired. You have no idea. I'm like, could have been someone. No, I really am. I'm absolutely knackered. Yeah, it's 8:42 for me, which means, yeah, maybe I could get to bed early. Who knows or dares to dream? Anybody else in the chat now said hello to yet? Let's have a quick look. No, I think we're good. Hashtag the Timeless Children is shit. Yes, the Timeless Children is indeed shit. We can't argue with that. We all agree the Timeless Children is shit. The phrase "agree to this" is an anathema, like the Jodie set to the likes of Jodie set. Oh, they can't. They were really the worst. I mean, they're certainly worse than Shooty fans, right? Although I think Shooty fans are going to start getting a bit crazy now. You know, the whole insanity of there being, you know, an unlimited amount of genders or whatever bullshit they believed in has finally been punctured. Thank God. Oh, thank God. Anyway, I'm going to head off in the sunset. Going to climb the wood. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.